Lips make a nigga blood pressure go drip, drip, drip. Bows is the devil like 666. Bows is the devil like 666. When I got you on my mind, ain't no room for a thought.
All right, welcome, BallTalk, episode 3. This is a special episode. We're super excited. We got our first guest on. I'm going to bring him on in just a second. First, I want to say hi to my co-host here, Nick. How we doing?
How we doing, Adam? And our guest. I'm excited for it. You know.
You want to give him the introduction?
Yeah, we got a third person here tonight. He goes by the name Lucas, and he or maybe Lukey Pookie.
Restart. We gotta restart it now.
We got the ball rolling, dude.
But yeah, he's not fond of the nickname, but
Never again.
he mows lawns.
Say hello to the people, Lucas.
Tell him a little bit about yourself.
I like sports, so that's why I'm here. I like to debate sports, so hey, why not?
The king of bad bets, as we'll call him. I'm just kidding.
Yeah. If you need a bad bet,
Bad bet from last night.
hit him up.
All right. Let's get it started. We're going to be talking all things sports today. We got NFL, college football, Premier League, some news about the UFC and stuff. So let's get right on into it. We got trades. NFL deadline is tomorrow at 4 p.m. Tuesday. We've got a couple that were just announced today. First one, we want to go with Leonard Williams. The Jets defensive tackle is going to the Giants.
For a third-round pick and a fifth-round pick. That fifth-round pick comes not in this year's draft, but the next one. So, one of the Jets' best players obviously is a rebuild move. Get a couple draft picks in, but...
Yep. The Kings of the rebuild at the moment as well. The Miami Dolphins are getting rid of their best running back, Kenyon Drake, giving him to the Cardinals.
Yeah, again for a couple of picks, third and a sixth in next year's draft. Decent trade.
Yeah, the Cardinals needed somebody right now. David Johnson, Chase Edmonds, both out right now. David Johnson, one of my fantasy backs, so it sucks to see him still, suffering a little bit. But
How long is he out?
That's a good question. He came back, right, like last game. And then played like 2 snaps and then didn't come back in I don't think he played this week either. So, maybe they brought him back too soon and he'll be out for a little bit longer. I don't think they've said exactly when he's coming back. So, obviously them signing Kenyon Drake, you expect him to be their number one guy right now. So, honestly, for fantasy move, you guys might want to be looking out for Kenyon Drake. Pick him up maybe if you need a back for this week. All right, next piece of news. We're going to move on from the trades. Joe Flacco has been benched, I guess, if you want to call it that. I think he's injured a little bit after the Colts game.
But he came out today, said neck injury.
They said neck injury, but part of me thinks it has something to do with his post-game speech. I don't know if you guys saw that. He was a little critical of the coaching not going for a more aggressive play call, although Joe Flacco's their quarterback and don't trust him probably to make that throw anyway. I don't know if you guys have thoughts, but I think if I had to guess, it's because of that. Maybe they're just like in-house suspending him for
backup?
that. I don't know.
I mean,
and it's probably no one good.
What's their record? 2-6.
Right.
Like how much you're not.
Their year's pretty much over.
You're not competing. So
and that's what I have a lot of respect for what Joe Flacco said.
Yeah, I agree with him.
Yeah, because
you have nothing to lose.
Yeah, in reality, this season is pretty much scratched unless you go on a run.
Right.
And in order to do that, you got to make gutsy play calls.
And they certainly could have won that game, especially
you got to win on the road. You got to win at home.
Yeah.
If they have gotten that first down and gone for it like he wanted instead of running it on 35, maybe their season would be looking a lot better. But 2-6 definitely is a hole you can't really come out of, and especially if your quarterback just got hurt as well. That's just a bad situation for them.
And really, their defense isn't all that bad. I mean, T.Y. Hilton had 40 yards or 50 yards or something?
Right.
Yeah.
He didn't have a huge day.
Yeah, our offensive line was kind of getting tore up by their pass rush, and people have been talking that their pass rush isn't as good anymore. But I think since Bradley Chubb went out, it's been a lot better. For whatever reason, Bill Simmons has this Ewing theory on that, but we'll skip past all the naysay. We'll just hope they can figure it out. Redskins tackle is on the trading block. Finally, this is the guy that for the whole season has been holding out. I want to say for a new
Their
contract.
left tackle.
Right.
Yeah.
So they're now apparently putting him out on the trade block, and that's tomorrow. Okay. I don't know if you guys have any thoughts on that, but that's kind of quick. Maybe you should have done this a little sooner is what I'm thinking.
Right.
They probably could have gotten more.
Yeah, exactly. Now they're going to have to look for a desperate move.
Right.
That's
they don't have
exactly what I was
time
gonna
to
say.
have teams go back and forth on offers, really.
And maybe their plan is put them out there. If they get something good enough, take it. But if not, do what they were doing and just sit on him.
Right.
Or who knows, maybe they have a contract that they think he'll agree on in the works.
Yeah.
I don't know. Another team that it's kind of like your season's over. If you can get a few draft picks for him, it's definitely worth it, in my opinion.
They're right there with the Dolphins.
Yeah.
All right, next one is J.J. Watt out for the season, tore his pec. You guys see that?
Yeah, I did. It's kind of heartbreaking for him because he's been riddled with injury throughout his career.
Such a good player, man. Every time you watch him, it's just crazy how big and athletic he is. And, when you're big and athletic, a lot of injuries are going to happen. So, definitely sucks for him, but him being on the Texans in my division
Yeah, but I mean,
doesn't hurt too much to
Jags
me.
aren't going anywhere.
Oh, my God.
Jags?
The Jags-Titans have to play this week, I'm pretty sure. So, we'll see who's really making
The Jags are back at 500.
Yeah. I mean, what are you guys, 5-2?
We're 5-2, baby.
Okay.
We got the
Anything can
Steelers,
happen.
Dolphins next, too.
Anything
I
can
feel like,
happen.
you guys definitely have the division locked now.
Locked.
I mean, you're one against Texans.
We need Texans
Did they
to
win?
start losing, though, because they're still winning, so it's not completely locked
They
up.
beat the
But
Raiders, right?
Yeah. 27-24, I think it was,
yeah.
on the final there.
Anyways, so yeah, sucks to hear about J.J. Watt. I think the last piece of news here we have is the Diaz fiasco from last week regarding 244, a tainted supplement sample. He was the first one to break the news that something happened with USADA with an Instagram post. I want to say he was just going off saying, I'm not on steroids. The whole rest of the UFC is on steroids, whatever, blah, blah, blah. Threatened to pull out of the fight, like a week and a half before. So I do believe now the fight is on. There's nothing standing in the way anymore. He's been exonerated, so to speak. So it all looks good, but last week was a little crazy.
Yeah, unorthodox for the fighter to come out and say it. Usually it'll be, either the UFC or the USADA or whatever it is.
Yep.
Whatever those drug guys are who take the piss from all the fighters. They're usually the ones to break the news, but Diaz is the kind of guy who said, just fuck them.
Yeah. He doesn't want to be known for
Right.
that kind
He
of
doesn't
thing.
want that to come out, everyone to react to it without him saying his bit first.
Yeah.
And, he's a guy who took a long time off from fighting, so I don't think he's at the point where if you're going to say I'm cheating, I'm just not going to fight. Like, fuck it. But, yeah, good to hear that it is actually back on. A lot of conspiracy theories out there that maybe this was all just kind of a ploy to get more hype around the fight.
Yeah, they always do some crazy shit to do that, don't they?
Right. But who knows? Who knows for sure? But yeah, just a crazy little story there.
What about you, Lucas? You excited for Diaz Masvidal, man? The BMF belt?
I mean, I'm going to be honest, I'm not really too...
Into UFC?
I like watching UFC.
So,
I don't really know...
Did you see
I did see the what's his name? Masvidal.
Yeah.
I did see that head. Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah.
I know who Nate Diaz is.
He's been around.
I probably won't watch the fight, honestly, just because
Ooh, okay.
I'm one of those guys that just kind of reads about it the next day.
I
got you.
mean,
I like Conor McGregor, so
we'll
There
be
we
watching
go.
it. So
See, he's all about McGregor, not Diaz. We got one of these.
If he wants to get into it, we'll be watching it. So
Yeah.
When is it, Saturday?
Saturday.
Oh, I might have to come over for that.
All right.
Yeah.
We might have to hook him into it. He'll be a fan
might
of
have to
Diaz
do it.
after this one, I promise.
I know those guys are heavy hitters, right?
Yeah.
Bro, they're both
It
just
should
like
be a
zombies who never stop
really-
Yeah,
coming
they never
forward.
go down, right?
Yeah, okay.
All right, we're good.
All right. I think that's it for the news. We're going to move into a little bit of the fantasy football, fantasy basketball recap here. Nick and I were actually going against each other in basketball and football this week.
Yeah.
He definitely took the dub on both.
Yeah.
Gotta
Oh,
admit.
damn.
Yeah, great weekend for me.
There were some weird players that
I had a
outbreaks.
I had a lot
so-
of bad
Kenny
matchups.
Galladay, come on now.
Yeah, I do kind of want to boast a little bit about my pickup this week of Telvin Coleman. Got him on the
yeah.
waiver wire, and
Yeah, he had a
he
good
ended
game.
he ended up having 4 touchdowns.
Yeah.
So yeah, that always feels good when you make a change and it ends up working out for you.
Yep.
And then I got Dalvin Cook and Mike Thomas, who just animals.
I was going against Mike Thomas in both of my fantasy football
Yeah.
leagues.
Right,
Can't guard
absolute
Mike.
animals. Yeah.
Can't guard him ever.
Yeah. We
I
got
think-
2 Saints fans sitting next to me. It kind of hurts, especially when I'm going against Michael Thomas in both leagues. But I am a Drew Brees fan. He was back this week. Let's get into
Hey,
the NFL.
Latavius
Yeah,
Murray?
all you need to know about those
I was
fantasy
going against him
matchups
too.
Yeah,
is
Latavius Murray. had a
Adam
game.
got waxed. That was
The Saints
pretty much the
beat
story.
my a-hole this week.
Pretty
It's
much
fine.
the story there.
All right, so yeah, the Saints destroyed the Cardinals. Not a whole lot to talk about there. You guys' defense still looks incredible.
I mean,
Drew
yeah,
Brees is back.
there's always things to talk about with the
Always
Saints.
things.
You know, like we just look impressive. Drew's back.
Drew's back.
Boiler up.
I mean, we're manhandling people without Kamara.
Right, 9 points against.
Right.
I don't.
Yep.
That's the
I mean-
least amount of points Kyler Murray scored
Right, I
in his
mean,
NFL career.
The Cardinals are the Cardinals, but the
Their
last 3
offense
weeks
is good.
they've won.
Yeah,
and they've
they were on
averaged
a
like 29
right,
points.
Right, they were on a
Yeah.
3-game win streak, and their offense is
They have
good.
an elite offense.
So
At times, their offense looks really good,
Kyler Murray, I mean,
but he
he's
seems
not
like a Russell
in-the-pocket guy.
Wilson.
He's going to run around. He's hard to guard.
But it's hard to keep that up for a whole season, is
I
what I'm
agree.
going to say.
Without getting injured of some sort or whatever.
Or yeah, exactly.
he
We're
is
just
the
wearing,
modern day
wearing out.
Michael Vick, though. I mean,
Yeah,
we're getting to see Mike.
I think
Vick
Lamar
again.
Jackson's probably a little closer at the moment.
I guess that would be true.
You know,
I guess both those guys.
Kyler, Russell Wilson, Lamar Jackson, all those guys, Cam Newton even. You can't just,
Yeah.
say, Drew Brees is going to stay in the pocket. I mean,
I've seen Ben Roethlisberger
Daniel
make some
Jones.
moves with his feet.
Yeah,
I mean,
I mean,
there's
Even
big
Rodgers.
guys.
Rodgers is a magician.
you're going to see a lot more guys mobile, like, Josh Allen. You got
Yeah,
Daniel Jones even.
you kinda
They're
have to
all-
be.
They're all mobile now. I mean, but these guys are freaks.
Right.
Yeah, Lamar Jackson has been averaging like 100 rushing yards or something. I don't know. That guy's pretty special. But they were on the bye week. We're going to recap the rest of the league. We had the Colts sneak one out over the Broncos. Vinatieri actually made the game winner instead of missing like he did twice previously in that game. I was a little bit nervous as a Colts fan. I can't lie to you. But we got the dub, 5-2, leading the division. So it's looking pretty good for us with a couple easy games coming up as well.
Yeah, that was an incredibly frustrating game.
It
It would have been tied 13 if not for a missed field or a missed extra point.
Right.
So yeah, just a lot of added pressure that shouldn't even have been there, but they do end up getting back in field goal range. Brissett had maybe not the play of the week because Deshaun Watson and Aaron Rodgers did some crazy things also, but
Yeah.
Brissett had that. It was Colts were at their own 7 or something,
Yeah.
and he spun out of a tackle and then made a 40-yard, Aaron Rodgers-esque
Yeah.
dime on the sideline to it was Ty, right?
T.Y.
Yeah.
That was a beautiful play.
Yeah.
He made a couple plays in the end zone that were really close to being safeties, and they weren't. But
And that was Von Miller.
yeah,
Right,
Von
right.
Miller he shook off.
made it even
That's
better play.
But Brissett's a big guy. He's probably a little bit bigger than Von Miller, so he just uses his size and leverage. Speaking of missed field goals, let's go to the Bears.
Oh.
What a struggle season!
And
They
didn't
probably
he have a
thought
dunk?
they'd be
Didn't he
nice.
have a dunk before
The
that
last
as well?
game.
Yeah.
Oh, was it last game?
Well, maybe in that
I
game
think
too,
he
but I know
might
he
have
had
gone
one last
I
week.
think he did.
I
It
think
hit
he
the
might.
pole.
Yeah, I think he was already had missed a 33-yarder
Yeah.
that game.
They thought they found a kicker, and maybe they haven't, because I'm pretty sure it was only 41 yards. Missed the game winner. This has been a problem that's wreaked havoc for the Bears recently. So, I'm sure they're feeling it. That defense is really good, but their offense can't figure it out. So,
Yeah, and you got Matt No Nuts Nagy running the helm.
yeah, he went for that kneel at the late stage of the game instead of trying to run a play to get the kicker closer, and it just all seems bad for them.
Right, and in the post game press interview, they asked him about it, and he said that running the ball never crossed his mind. Then the reporter asked him, like, why not a play action or something? Never crossed his mind. Pretty much was just saying that the only thing that crossed his mind was taking that knee and banking on Pinheiro, who has shown all year he's inconsistent at best, if not, you could be harsher. So, yeah, just a awful move, in my opinion, by Nagy to go for those kneels and not try to get his kicker within 40 yards. I think it ended up being like a 41-yarder, but which you should make in the NFL.
Yeah.
Right.
But, okay, so the Bears are looking bad, but on the opposite end of the spectrum, New England remains dominant. They destroyed the Browns. The defense just continues to do its thing. I don't want to talk too much about them because, I'm not a fan at all, but you have to at
they're
least...
the best team in the NFL right now.
Oh, hands down.
They are. And
it's not close.
Although this was Sanu's first game, it still doesn't feel like the Patriots' offense has really figured it out. So I wonder if with a couple more weeks they'll, finally get where they need to be, because it didn't seem like they were moving the ball all that easily against the Browns. And I know the Browns have a decent defense, but I think there's still some struggles there and some questions about the Patriots' offense. Let's see once they finally go up against a team that can score against their defense. I don't know if there's a team out there that can, but, if it happens, we'll see how well they do.
I just feel like the Patriots, right now, they don't have very good numbers on offense, but they're the best team in the game that can control any tempo of the game at all. And
Right.
Yeah.
whatever they need to do, they need to get a 3rd and 10 they'll get it. They need to get a touchdown right here, they'll get it.
Yeah, when
It won't look pretty on paper, but they control every part of the game.
Yeah.
Special teams, defense, offense.
I 100% agree.
Yeah.
Belichick will figure it out. He's proven it time and time
So
again.
will Brady. Brady will get that
Even
throw.
if their offense doesn't look good
Yeah.
right now, it will look good in January and February.
Always does.
Yeah, we know that. And they're scared. Their defense is so scary that they look. If you're putting money on any team to win the Super Bowl, that's the favorite,
Yeah.
hands down. So.
All right, well, we're going to move on. The Chiefs-Packers is the next one I'm going to look at. The game wasn't really all that exciting. The Chiefs, for a little bit, they did have the lead, I believe, at half 17-14, but the Packers in the second half looked pretty dominant. They ended up winning by a touchdown and ran the timeout. But I kind of want to touch on what the outlook for both is. The Chiefs are 5-3 now, Packers 7-1. That NFC is pretty tough, and I'm pretty sure the Vikings are in the Packers division as well.
Yeah.
So
And Bears. Bears and Lions.
And
So,
Lions are.
They have a
they're no
really,
joke.
really tough division.
I think that's one of the tougher divisions, although the records for the Bears and Lions might not reflect it at the moment, but I still think the Lions can make a play for the playoffs.
Yeah,
I don't think-
absolutely.
you know,
I think the Bears their season might be done.
I think it
They
is.
still have to play the Rams. They got to
Yeah.
play.
Well, they're going to have to play
again.
that division is going to eat them up, I think. But anyway, so for the Packers, I think that them and the Vikings in that division are going to be pretty close, so they definitely need these big wins, and them getting it going to 7-1 pretty much cements them as, one of the scariest teams in the NFC,
Yeah.
Them and the 49ers to me are the top two, and it's probably not too close for the next couple.
Right. And looking at their next 3 games, they go on the road to the Chargers, who have been awful. On at home against the Panthers. Then they're on a bye, and then they go away to the 49ers.
That'll be
That should be a very, very interesting matchup. You could see a 9-1 Packers team, and the 49ers look like they're going to keep on winning.
right. So if we get to that game and the 49ers are still undefeated and the Packers only have one loss, that'll be huge, man.
Yeah,
That'll be probably for the first seed in the NFC, I would assume.
almost, yeah.
You can't just assume it's going to be a thing, but
Yeah, I was
pretty
looking
good.
like, I don't want to be biased here, but the Saints' rest of the season schedule is cake. I don't know if you looked at it, Nick, but our hardest game is 49ers at home.
Yeah,
That's not going to be hard, but
that might be a game
home.
where you're handing them their first loss.
Right, and that's
that defense at home is going to be crazy.
We got to play the Panthers twice, Falcons twice, Bucks again. We play at the Titans. Colts at home.
Right.
Oh,
That
Colts
could
are
be.
winning.
Yeah,
But
I don't think the Saints lose at home this year.
Yeah.
I'm going to stamp
I don't
that
think
right
we
now.
lose the rest of the year, to
I
be
don't think
honest.
they lose at home this year.
I don't think we lose the rest of the year, just because of the.
Yeah. That,
We got
okay.
momentum.
We're just going to roll this into the playoff picture, I suppose. The Saints definitely have stamped their name. You can't count out the Seahawks.
Yeah, Seahawks.
The Rams are kind of still hanging in there, although I don't have faith in them, even though they made a move to get Jalen Ramsey. I don't think they're as
They
talented
have a tough schedule as well.
overall. And, their
Yeah.
division's just so tough with the Seahawks and 49ers. They're going to have
They're going
even
to
if
need
they
to make
win-
a wild card
Yeah,
push. Even
even if they went 50-50
They have to
with
go
their
to
divisional
Dallas.
games the rest of the year,
it really
They play the Bears at Dallas. They have to play 49ers and Seahawks again.
yeah.
You got to win out.
right. The Rams, it looks unfortunately like they might not make the playoffs.
Yeah. After
They're a
coming
game
out
back
of the Super
behind
Bowl.
the 49ers and Seahawks since they lost to them already. So
Right.
you're
Yeah.
praying.
So who would you two say is your favorite coming out of the NFC?
Okay, so I would say the Packers have the best chance because
Over your Saints.
In the playoffs, are we talking? Or to get the
if
first
the Saints
seed?
have home field advantage, that's hard to win in this
Yeah.
Superdome.
I would agree. And if you have home field advantage the other way, Packers
At
see, that's what I was
Lambeau
gonna say. in the freezing cold. Yeah, that could be an easy trip to the Super Bowl for them.
If let's say the 49ers are home field advantage, that's good weather.
Right, you're going to see some offense.
It's exactly. Saints, that's hard to win in there. That was crazy.
Yeah.
Hard
loud.
to put up points. Hard
Lambeau
to do
Field
anything.
is crazy loud and cold. And
Right.
that time of year.
Yeah,
It
don't.
will be freezing.
I think it comes down to who has the best, who's being set up to play at home. the
Right.
most.
Yeah.
Any upsets in the wild card position going into the playoffs could change the whole bracket.
Right, yeah. We'll definitely see how
The
that all
NFC is
shakes
just
out,
loaded. I
'cause
feel like they could be anybody.
Right.
Could be anybody.
a wild card team could end up being a team with 10 wins.
Yeah.
Easily.
Exactly.
Right now. So, that's looking like the scarier division. And
Whoever
then-
comes out of the NFC is
It's probably going to win it all. in my opinion.
has the best chance,
But
in my opinion,
the
to beat the
Patriots.
Patriots.
Yeah, the
It-
Patriots.
They deserve to be there. Whoever comes
Or-
out of NFC, it's not going to be a joke. It's not going to be
Yeah.
Right.
anybody.
Yeah. If maybe we want to shift over to the AFC, admittedly,
We've got a chance.
It's weak over there.
the
weak over
weaker
there.
side
It
of
is
the NFL.
But who has
We've
the best
got
chance?
we've
to
got
beat the Pats?
Colts, Ravens, Chiefs, and
Texans.
Texans.
maybe Texans.
I mean,
JJ
it's
Watt
looking
being
pretty
out
bad over
hurts
there.
them a lot. A
Yeah.
lot.
Right.
I
That
I don't
kind of
know.
almost
It still
ruins
still
for me.
feels like it has to be the Chiefs, but we don't know what Mahomes is going to look like exactly.
yeah,
Their defense kind
right.
of sucks. So I mean, it's going to be really tough for anybody to beat the
The
Patriots, I think.
Ravens could.
I just
mean,
don't see the
that's just
Ravens
a team-
offense working against the Patriots, especially
it's just a team
knowing
that
the
I
Patriots are
think-
going to be at home because they always get home field advantage because their division sucks.
Right. I just think knowing that that's the only team in the AFC right now that I think has a potent enough offense with a good enough defense.
Yeah.
Them are the Colts.
Yeah,
at the moment.
I think
Them
if
are
we
the
get our
Colts.
defense healthy and our offensive line healthy, I think we can run enough on the Patriots.
That's what I was gonna say.
If we can limit the turnovers without having to pass too much, I think we could definitely make it a dirty, ugly 17-13 kind of game or something.
Right.
But, it's really we're going to have to throw them off their game and somehow score on that defense, which is scoring more than almost anybody.
Some people's offense.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
it's going to be tough.
The Colts, I feel like, to beat the Pats, you got to be able to control the game. You can't just have, Patrick Mahomes slinging the ball for 400 yards. That won't do it. You got to be able to run the. You got to be able to run the ball. You got to be able to stop them on third and 6, third and 2.
Right. Because
And I
Mahomes
feel like the
won't
Colts-
have that game.
Right.
If
I'm not
that's
much
going to
of-
be
yeah.
Andy Reid's a genius though, so
I've been kind of
you can't
impressed.
count
though.
them out ever.
I've been impressed
Right.
with Shady McCoy.
I mean, they could have beat the Packers last night, and we're talking about them
Yeah.
being one of the best teams in the NFL.
Yeah.
And they didn't. They had Matt Moore at quarterback.
He's not bad. He's actually pretty good.
And their defense looked competent last night. They didn't, for 3 quarters, they
It was
looked
a close
good.
one, yeah.
Right.
I feel like the Colts have the best chance the best potential to beat the Pats. If they play their best game, they will
Yeah,
beat the Pats.
Yeah.
I feel like. Just because they have
I
they have
really,
a very
really
good,
hope so.
They have a very good
hope
running
so.
game, good offensive line. They have an okay defense, good enough,
Right.
Yeah, I will be a
and
very
we have our best
sad-
safety out at the moment, too. So it's
All right.
like, once we get him back, man.
Is your linebacker back?
Yeah, Leonard's been back, and he got a pick to win the game last week. So, all right. So, last thing on the NFL, I think we want to do is look at tonight's game, Dolphins Steelers. It's a shit bowl, if you will. It's not a great game, but we would at least want to touch on it. What do you guys think is going to happen? Steelers are favored by 2 touchdowns, I believe.
Yep, -14.
Dolphins are in full tank. Just gave away Kenyon Drake. I just rhymed it. What's up?
Yeah, sure. I'll say
man.
Steelers in a blowout.
You think so?
Blowout.
Sure. This is one of those games.
21-3 game.
I need the Steelers defense to score 24 to have a chance to win my
And they're just
fantasy matchup.
Dolphins are just handing out the quarterback position, huh? They go to Rosen, to Fitzpatrick, back to Rosen. back
Oh,
to
it's just
Fitzpatrick.
it's a
Tannehill, right?
Oh,
No,
Or
Tannehill's in
no,
Tennessee
My
now.
bad.
yeah, they just keep flopping them like Purdue.
Yeah, we don't know what's going on there.
Mid
but,
game.
anyways, just a real quick cover on that game. We're gonna move on to some college football now, and I don't know if we want to touch on this first or not, but
let's
the
get it
elephant
done.
in the room is the Purdue football just looking terrible.
Yeah, looking like shit.
It was terrible weather, first of all, but it was at home and against Illinois. You thought for sure any which way we'd get it done somehow, but it wasn't even close.
Yeah, we were
Wasn't even pretty.
10-point favorites.
Oh, it was awful.
This was a game. There wasn't 100 passing yards total between both teams.
Oh, it was like almost
Yeah,
in
Plummer
the second
had
quarter.
Plummer
and-
had 69, and the Illinois guy had 5 receptions for or 3 receptions or something.
Yeah.
for
Oh yeah.
26
It was
yards.
like maybe
It was
second
stupid.
half or into the second quarter, and they just now got their first reception.
Completion, and it was probably a screen or a right to the running back out of the backfield or
Yeah.
whatever.
So it was, reasons why it was an ugly game, but, even then, I thought our running game the last few weeks had been looking decent, and we couldn't get any sort of offense going. We only scored 6 points, so
Right, and we didn't
Really
score
just embarrassing.
that until the fourth quarter, in garbage time.
I will
Yeah, it
say
didn't-
though,
didn't matter.
I did not like the coaching decision to bench
Plummer.
for 2 or 3 drives. One, what does that do to Plummer? He's going to get back in the game and be scared to mess up. He's a young quarterback. He's already scared.
yeah.
I mean, it doesn't help with his confidence.
Yeah, it definitely. And he came out and said,
He just came out and said that he's going to stick with Plummer now.
right.
So what was the point?
2 days after saying that it was,
Open.
Right. We'll be open to, a discussion on replacing him, and then 2 days later, he comes out and says, "Never mind, we're sticking with Plummer."
Yeah.
Yeah,
Doesn't look good.
It does send the wrong message, and I'm a big Braum guy. I definitely think the talent he's brought in and the atmosphere, you got to give him a lot of credit for filling Ross 8 again and getting at least, fans excited. And we obviously, we're at the point in the season where I bet we got Nebraska at home right next.
Yeah.
I bet this game's going to be a quarter full. We're back to the Hazel days. It's a dark days over in West Lafayette.
I think the Braum juice is officially ran empty.
I think
I'm not trying to
obviously
say
we just
that-
gave him a bunch of money. If he wants to stay, and I will give him 10 more years at Purdue.
Yeah,
I don't think we'll get a better coach.
I don't.
agree.
Yeah, I
Or
don't
a
think
guy who
he's
can
a bad
recruit
guy,
better.
but personally, I don't think he's gonna be the savior that everybody thought he was.
Right. I mean, I'm not dogging on the coaching. I'm just saying, with what he's got,
He's
making it work. I mean, not making it work, but
in my mind, we should be competitive even with bad players.
And I mean, we were
against a
competitive
team
with
like
Iowa.
Illinois.
I'll accept that
Right.
Iowa game.
Well, that Iowa game, we got to play to our strength, though.
Even
in
the
a
second-
game where we were forced, it was, muddy, slick. In a game where we were forced to play different than the way we want to play, we proved that we had no idea what to do.
Oh, yeah.
We couldn't get anything going. And that's scary. Because you're not always going to have great conditions.
You're going to go against
playing the
coaches
Big
who's
Ten.
going to take away
Right.
Rondale Moore,
It-
and what are you going to do?
Right.
right.
We need to figure something out where we're more than one dimensional. But yeah, I think it's a waiting game with Braum right now. Give him 3 years. When it's all his guys, and
Is it not this? Is this not the third year?
no, I'm saying give him 3 more years.
Because these are his recruits.
Yeah,
that he
yeah.
got.
I don't
He-
know. If
just
next
freshman
next
now.
year sucks too, I think it's time to start making the talk. But I think we've covered enough on this. We still have half a season to go. We could still make a bowl game, I believe. So I mean, it's not all bad.
Would have to be Wisconsin though.
Right.
So,
We'll see.
yeah.
All right.
But speaking of Wisconsin,
We're gonna move on. Yeah, Wisconsin
Yeah.
played Ohio State and got beat to all shit.
Yeah. Ohio State just looks dominant.
Yep, Ohio State continues to roll. They look like top 3 in the nation as long as they don't lose. They're definitely in the playoff. It's an
Yeah.
exciting team. Hopefully, they've been.
I got them winning the whole thing.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
know that's Lucas's team right
I
now.
mean, Wisconsin and Ohio State both, only gives up 8 to 9 points a game. Ohio State did that versus a good Wisconsin
Against
team.
Wisconsin and
And
Wisconsin.
Wisconsin
yeah.
couldn't. It just shows Wisconsin's a very good team, but it just shows you how good Ohio State is and how dominant they can be. Yeah, they were home, but
They both have a lot of NFL players.
their
Frankly.
defense is the real deal as well.
Yeah.
Ohio State they are without a doubt up there. I think they actually are now number 3 in the country still. I don't think they moved ahead of anybody.
Right.
But there was a shift at number 1, if you guys didn't see.
LSU.
LSU got
LSU
to the 1
took
spot.
out Auburn this
Right, with a
week.
big win against Auburn.
Moved to number 1. Also, Michigan beat Notre Dame, too. Another big one in college football.
Yeah,
They were due for that one.
Yeah. Notre Dame is one of those teams that I feel like gets overrated a lot in football.
I absolutely love to see Notre Dame lose.
Same.
It's one of my biggest joys in life.
Even though I don't care about Michigan at all.
If I had to choose between ice cream and Notre Dame losing every other game of football for the rest of my life, I would choose Notre Dame losing. Hands down.
Ice cream's not that good, though, so it's fine.
My left arm.
Whoa, relax.
I'm not exaggerating.
He is.
I hate
Come
him.
on.
I hate him.
A lot of people were frustrated with Michigan about how they can't win big games. I feel like this
was a big
statement
game,
statement
but-
game.
They did
Notre
slide
Dame's kind
down.
of a joke to me.
They did
Yeah,
slide
Notre-
down to 20-something before this game. I wonder how much they go back up because,
Right.
they're definitely in that talk, of top 15-ish. But,
Yeah,
it's not
they're
like
they're not competing for national championship.
Well, and I don't think that they're
No.
going to be even close to being able to win the Big Ten championship
Oh,
either.
No,
you know what I'm saying?
no.
But they're
Not a chance they
definitely
beat Ohio State.
one of the best in the Big Ten behind, get people like Minnesota, Wisconsin, Ohio State. I just feel like they're, Penn State's
really
definitely there
good.
too.
They're up. Penn State's up
them
to
and-
5 now with because Oklahoma lost.
Oh yeah,
On the
they
road.
lost me money too. Thanks Oklahoma.
Yeah, we'll talk. We can move into that one too. Kansas State beating Oklahoma,
Yeah, tell me how that
dramatic
happened.
fashion. I mean,
I could
stuff
have
happens,
told
man.
you that.
Oh
one.
yeah, I did see that tweet.
I could have told you. I liked Kansas State in that game at least to cover, and I thought they were the sleeper to pull off an upset this week.
He did.
Home
He did bring
game,
it up. He did.
I mean, Oklahoma. Every single year, Oklahoma loses one of these games to a team they should beat, and it's always an away game. It's always like a high-scoring game where the other team just puts up 50 on them, and you're like, "What the hell? Like, we can't take Oklahoma seriously."
yeah.
Right.
And then they will probably win the Big
Yeah.
Ten, and still get in as the 4 seed.
Big
I can
12.
see it happening, and I hate that because this game really does solidify just that Oklahoma is not at the caliber of
Yeah.
Alabama, LSU, Ohio State.
I do love their quarterback.
Yeah, Jalen Hurts.
He,
I do.
I was rooting for him for sure, and I was kind of hoping he'd outshine Tua. But Alabama's just too good. There's no way for Tua not to look good. So, I
Burrows.
mean, and
Right.
Jalen just had
Right.
one of those games.
I mean,
And
he
in
didn't play
Oklahoma,
bad.
he didn't play bad, but like them
You can't give
losing
up-
this kind of a game, really, I think can be that difference for him to be in that kind of a Heisman talk where like you were just saying,
Yeah.
a guy like Joe Burrows, I mean,
They might go undefeated.
these guys are going to run away with it.
Yeah, in my mind, it's between him and Tua. But Burrow's numbers are going to be better.
people say tank for Tua. I mean, Burrow's. I heard some talk. Maybe he goes number 1.
Yeah, there could
Yeah.
definitely. I think there's definitely going to be a
Size
conversation.
of him, the accuracy, the
I
arm
think
strength is just unreal.
Hurts is moving up the draft
Yeah,
board
Hurts-
quick
oh, yeah.
because people were kind of thinking
I mean, look at the
at the
NFL's
beginning of the
QBs
season,
right now.
He's going to have some
The
bigger
Bears
games though.
are struggling. The Panthers are struggling.
right? People are good.
Titans
Yeah,
are struggling.
this is a
This is
big
a
draft
huge QB
draft class.
draft.
Big
Yeah.
draft class. I would agree.
There's a lot of
I would
QBs
agree.
out on their way out. Obviously, Mariota already got benched. Jameis Winston looks pretty shaky.
Oh yeah,
I mean, there's quite a few teams out there that need somebody legit. And, obviously we're finding out some of these backups like Brissett, Teddy Bridgewater,
yeah.
both were
Right.
playing really well. And then maybe they'll find themselves on a spot. But also, these teams are going to be looking at the draft. And I would assume that these teams are going to at least wait till after the draft to find out whether they can get one of these guys
Yeah.
or not, and then make the trades for,
Right.
Right, Bengals.
some
I
of
mean,
these
how long you stay
backups.
with Andy Dalton?
Man, they should have had that.
Enough's
yeah.
enough.
They should have had that
probably.
talk by now,
Right.
but
Yeah.
their whole team doesn't look great.
Jared Goff. No, I'm just.
Jared Goff. Jeez.
Oh,
See,
man.
this is.
Had to
You see
say
this?
it.
I knew it. If Tyler was here, we would have had a debate.
Nah, he would
a
have got
crazy
up
debate
and
already.
walked away.
Yeah, but anyways, do we want to touch a little bit more on the Auburn LSU game, Nick? I know you're a big Auburn fan.
Yeah.
It was a close
Auburn
one.
Love that
really
game.
impressed
That was a
me.
good game.
They really impressed me in this performance. Obviously, the offense just still isn't there. The defense played huge. Good enough. If you hold LSU to 23 at home, that's good enough to win you a football game. And there were plenty of chances for Auburn to score, and they just, their offense just wasn't clicking. And I don't know if that's Gus. I don't know if that's Bo Nix. But
He's a stud.
Bo Nix.
We love quarterbacks with 5 letters names.
Yeah. That's one of my big things. He only has 5 letters in his name. He's got to be good. He has to. But yeah, I don't know. Malzahn needs to make it easier on him, maybe. But overall, a good performance by Auburn, just not the result they needed. That would have been huge.
Wasn't it really bad weather as well?
I don't
Rainy,
think so.
Rainy, windy, sort of.
Was it maybe raining?
I think it was
I think
raining
it was
a little.
at least at the
Okay.
start. I think.
Yeah,
Okay.
but
So
anyways,
could've
it
done
was a close one, and neither team could be like super upset at the loss. But
No.
it is a big win for LSU. Obviously, they just moved to number 1, so that's really the outcome there. Auburn still can contest in that conference.
At this point, they need a win over Alabama. Just kind of to spoil their season, maybe. I think two
They're definitely
losses.
a team that could
I think it's two losses is kind of wraps. With
for playoff talk for sure, but they could make it.
Well, SEC West is LSU, Alabama, and Auburn, so they can't if they were in the East, yeah. Over there, it's just Florida and whoever else is good over there.
Right.
That's about it.
Yep.
But yeah, Auburn, disappointing, but this season could still turn out at a New Year's Day bowl game.
Oh yeah.
A win in the Iron Bowl makes everything worth it. So that's what we're looking forward to.
All right. Anything else on college football you guys want to touch on? Anything betting wise that you hit on?
I actually did not do very well this weekend on betting. So Ohio State. Actually, I did win Ohio State. I got the team total over.
Cool.
LSU.
I thought they would have scored more, but
Happens.
For
yeah,
sure.
Auburn's defense played incredible.
actually NFL just won. NFL was a weird week.
Yeah.
Weird
All right.
weekend.
It was a kind of a weird one. But we have one last section, if you will, that we're going to talk about. We got the Premier League, where I had most of my luck betting this weekend. Friday, one game, Leicester, I don't even know how to say it. Leicester City,
Leicester City.
9-0.
Yeah, they beat Southampton 9-0.
Destroyed.
Southampton got a red card in the 15th minute. They were already down 1-0, and it was 5-0 by half. It was literally watching
A slaughter.
I can't. Yeah, I don't even know what to put it into terms as. It was like watching rodents try to fight dogs or something. It was
Not a fair fight.
no, not at all. That's pretty much the point I'm trying to get across.
Yeah.
Leicester had their way.
I think I made
You did text me and tell me to take the money line.
Yeah,
But
Leicester. Yes, money line Leicester was my play.
the last couple of times you told me to take the money line, they ended up losing.
Yeah.
Portugal or the whatever one, I don't even know what it was.
I mean, it happens.
Yeah.
But I think soccer betting is the way to go. Overall, I think that's where you can make a
So
lot of
far,
money.
I like
People
it a lot.
People sleep on it.
All right.
But yeah,
Moving on to
that-
Saturday. That was just the one game Friday. A couple of the big ones. Brighton actually beat Everton 3-2. Chelsea beat Burnley pretty handily 4-2. Those 2 goals for Burnley were pretty late. Just whatever goals. Wolves played Sunday, along with Arsenal, Liverpool, and Tottenham had a big game.
Yeah. Maybe we'll go back to that Pulisic or the Chelsea game.
Yeah,
Pulisic
Oh man,
finally gets a goal, and he turned it into 3.
hat trick.
Yeah, crazy day for the American. I was losing my mind seeing him do that. So
Yeah, I didn't get to see the game live, but I also obviously saw all his goals, the highlights. He looked really good, and I'm sure as a lot of people in America that watch soccer have been just screaming for them to finally start this guy. And here you get it, and he brings you 3 goals, and they look stunning and took care of business.
and I think that's 6 straight wins in all competition for
Yeah,
Chelsea.
Chelsea has looked
they're on a
really
roll.
good. They're one of the top 4 maybe in the Premier
yeah.
League, I want to say.
Yeah,
So they're looking scary, and Liverpool hasn't looked completely unbeatable. Obviously, Tottenham scored the first goal in that game.
Quick
yeah.
goal.
It was
Yeah,
first minute
literally
goal by Harry Kane.
right away.
I actually saw that goal.
On the first time Tottenham had touched the ball in the game. Heung-min Son cuts across from probably like 20 yards out, puts in shot, gets deflected, and then ends up hitting the crossbar. And Johnny on the spot, Harry Kane there, heads it into the bottom right-hand corner. Doesn't give the keeper a chance. Then the rest of that game was kind of all Liverpool.
Oh, yeah. They're all around great team.
Right.
Yeah.
They're
pretty solid for sure.
It was kind of just you were waiting for them to score. I think it was 1-0 at half, and then Robertson got one like early in the second half. And then, like I said, it was all Liverpool from the first minute on.
Yeah.
And then they end up getting a late one and winning 2-1. No surprise.
Yeah. I will say, I was clamoring last week for them to start Son, and they finally did.
Yeah.
And they got an early goal on a big team,
Yeah, they started him and Eriksson this game, finally.
So glad to at least see that. We're going to move on to, let's talk about the Wolves. They got a tie. It wasn't a good start to the game, but I think they looked the better team overall in the game. They got the better opportunities, but they just couldn't find that second one to get the W. At least they came out of it with some points.
Yeah,
at least a point.
We started out with a player who usually plays on the outside and is kind of attacking minded. We started him at center back, and he just looked, out of sorts. Rightfully so. Just isn't his position.
Well, and you guys without Willie Bolly, right? Is that his
name? Yeah. So Willie Bolly got injured on Friday, just in training. Is actually supposed to be out 6 weeks now.
Unfortunate.
A fracture in his ankle. But yeah, so like I was saying, we started Matt Doherty at center back when he usually plays as a wing back. And then we actually make that change at halftime. We move Traore from, he was playing wing back, we move him up to more of a striker, right wing position.
I kind of like that move though.
Right. Well, we looked like a completely different team.
Yeah,
once we moved Traore up and we moved Doherty to his wingback position. I mean, he was helping in attack. He was up and down the side. Him and Traore were pretty much dominating that second half.
That combo on the right side was just
and Traore ended up leading to the first goal. And then it should have been a late penalty if not for we went to the VAR, and it's pretty clear on the VAR Doherty's getting pulled by his jersey and then around his shoulder.
And they don't give it to you.
Yeah, just no call on the VAR and really no explanation, which I hate. It's just frustrating. And then the same thing almost happens
in Arsenal's game.
To Arsenal. It's different, but they actually had a goal overturned on a phantom foul. They go to VAR and they say it's a foul on Socrates, I think it was, when he's around three other players, and there was contact, but it was, jostling for the ball.
He was surrounded by three guys, and you're telling me he's the one getting the foul in there?
Right.
All right, I turned on that game 2-0 within the first 9 minutes, and I didn't even watch the rest of the game.
I'm pretty sure I had.
Next thing I know, it's 2-2.
I had Arsenal money line in a parlay.
It should have finished 3-2.
Yep.
If not for some bullshit from VAR.
Yep, VAR continues to fuck the Wolves. It's a running theme.
Yeah.
Kind of like NFL refs.
It's really like,
Review.
VAR has been more the story than any storyline and, any team in the Premier League.
Right.
They seem to be the focus of attention every week, and it shouldn't be like that. And it seems like that in all sports almost. We're always talking about officials or a replay or something where it's like, this shouldn't be – it shouldn't be an outside force determining a game where, world-class athletes are on the field. It shouldn't be a...
Yeah, it's almost like, in any sport, how detailed or or specific do you want to get into a game about how many? Did you want to
Well,
turn a 2-hour game into a 5-hour game by looking at every
At the
play?
end of the day, it's
Exactly.
just a game.
It's just going to ruin the art of the game.
Right.
I understand some calls need to be overturned and overlooked, but you look just like the NFL. You go back to every pass interference call or every
Right.
or-
On the NFL broadcast,
more
they
than
have the
helps.
replay 2 seconds after it happens.
Right.
You're telling me these refs can't have that streamlined and just be looking at every single play, especially the NFL,
Right.
where
And
every
then-
play
and then-
there's 30 seconds between every play.
Well, that's
Can we not have this go a little quicker, smoother, and just tell them, hey, let's quit wasting time. It's not nothing.
Right.
Don't even worry.
That,
Don't tell.
And
Like,
again,
obviously, if the coach is going to
calls need
challenge
be
it, that's
looked at.
fine.
and that.
But they
But-
should have the verdicts quicker.
Yeah.
It just there's no way it should take 3 fucking minutes for these guys to decide whether
I
it is or
agree.
not.
I
Well,
agree.
that's what college football has implemented a similar system where they actually have a ref watching every replay, and then they buzz down if they need to look at it more. So then yes, if that needs to be looked at, that guy buzzes down. But other than that, you never have what you're saying like that.
Right.
And it's almost like, how technical do you want to get? In 5 years from now, there's going to be a 360 camera view about where the ball came out.
Everything is going to be microchipped.
It's going to be
Right,
exactly.
like-
It's going to everything's
The
going to be
football
so
itself.
detailed to the. It's just going to. It's just going to be so detailed. It's going to ruin the sport.
At some point, it's like, do we just go back to the bare bones?
Right.
We were
I don't think
happy.
I don't think we can
you
go
know,
back
Yeah, you
to
can't now.
any- without
you can't. But I'm
replay
just
at
saying
all.
that.
But yeah,
Without-
it doesn't
They're
feel
getting
good.
too technical with some calls.
The
late
two
hits.
challenges that were like, some things work and other things need to be thrown away.
Right.
And I don't think they do a good job of that.
They claim they're keeping the players safe, which I understand, but
Yeah.
some of the calls are ridiculous, and then the plays that should be overturned don't, and the plays that should stand they
Right.
get overturned.
It
So it's
doesn't-
You can't
they're not
make an
consistent.
unsafe sport safe.
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, if you're swallowing knives, you know it's dangerous. You're not looking. I'm not trying to use a plastic. Something like this is a dangerous, unsafe sport, and at some point you get to, too much nitpicking and too much,
Which
you
costs games.
where it's like, it's football. We already
Yeah.
we established you run into each other as fast as you can. People are moving at full speed. We're not going to be able to lower our helmet a certain
Kinda like hockey.
angle. Yeah,
Hockey-
just let it go.
Hockey's
like
hockey.
I don't know. If you don't like football, the way it is, I don't know. It's not safe. People know this.
I think we're getting into a rabbit hole here, but
No, yeah, I would agree.
I think that's about all we have left. I don't know if there's any last things, guys, to Premier League or just any sort of news coming to your head.
Nah, dude, that was a
That was a meaty one.
good podcast.
Yep. All right.
I'm
we're
sure
gonna go ahead and
Lucas will be back.
wrap it up. Yep. Thanks to our
Eventually.
first special guest, Lucas. Any final words? Thanks for coming on.
Go Saints, who dat nation?
Who Dat Nation.
That nation. And that's
There we
all,
go.
folks.
That's all,
it.
folks. We appreciate you listening. Tune in. We got our Thursday episode coming up. We'll preview this week and all things sports. So keep it tuned, and we'll see you next time.